Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth Riva, and today we're going to be talking about home inspections. What is a home inspection? Why do we need a home inspection? And what is the process? And we're also going to be talking about the frequently asked questions. So stick around. So let's just start with what is a home inspection. When you're purchasing a property, part of the purchase contract is a clause that would allow you as a buyer to do a home inspection. We're going to be hiring a third party, a professional home inspector, to come to the property and check on everything in the property. Unless the property is brand new, most likely you will find things to be fixed, right? It's like buying a used car. Now, why do we need a home inspection? Why? Because it's going to protect you as a buyer. It's going to give you the right to see if there's any major issues with the property, to see if there's any safety hazard problems that you may want to take care of it right away. At the same time, it would allow you to negotiate as a buyer, right? You will have the right to ask to the seller. Now, keep in mind the seller also has the right to say no to our request, but at least it will give you that right. At the same time, you can also walk away from the property if you find that there's something, huge with the property that now it does affect the value on the property. You can walk away without any penalties. And at the same time, you can also keep moving forward if everything's okay. If probably the things that we found are just cosmetic, then you may want to just keep moving forward, but at least now you know everything about the property. Now, what is the process? The process of a home inspection, pretty much on your purchase contract, you're going to have a timeline for you to do all your inspections. Once you pass that timeline, you're going to be waiving your right to cancel under the home inspection. So what is the process? As soon as your offer gets accepted, I always try to get the home inspection done like right away. Why? Because sometimes the general home inspector may call, for example, you may want to call an electrician, or you may want to call somebody else in case he does find like major issues with certain items. So it's always better to, try to take care of it right away. So the way we do this is, it depends really on the size of the home, but we're going to be hiring a home inspector, and the price really goes by the square footage of the home, and they are going to come to the property. They usually are going to get to the property before us. So depending again on the size of the property, it may be 1, 2 hours, 3 hours before we get to the property. Once he's done, there's going to be a summary where we all are going to go, and he's going to walk us through everything that he has found in the property. At the same time, we're going to be getting a report usually around the next day. At least the home inspectors that I work with, they work really fast. So they will give us a report that we can take a look at it. So now let's talk about the frequently asked questions when it comes to a home inspection. Number one question that I always get asked is, who pays for it? This would be an expense to the buyer. And this is the only thing that is not refundable. What I mean with not refundable is because we're going to be hiring, right, a third party. So if you do cancel the transaction, this money, we cannot ask the home inspector to give us the money back. Your deposit, as long as you cancel within the timeline, your deposits will go back to you. However, again, we cannot ask the money back to the home inspector. Now, I had one time somebody asking me, why does the seller not pay for this? I don't think we should have the seller actually hiring a home inspector, because there can be a little bit of a conflict of interest, right? Because the home inspector actually is working for you as the buyer and not really the seller. So it's always just better to invest the money, because you're purchasing a big asset in your life, so it's always worth the money. Second question that I always get asked is, what is the cost of a home inspection? Again, it depends on the square footage of the property, but usually I want to say it depends. Probably if you want to just get an average, maybe like around $350 to $850. That's just the standard. We usually get quotes for you in advance, so at least you know how much that person will be charging. Question number 4 is, what do they check? right? A home inspector is going to check pretty much everything: electrical, plumbing, the foundation, if there's any leaks, all the appliances. However, there are certain things that they don't check, and this is for a general home inspector. So for example, they may not check on the pool, for example, sprinkler system as well. But keep in mind though that we can always hire any other inspector that you want. So I always tell my clients, like, for example, if we're purchasing a property with a pool, you may also want to hire not just a general home inspector, but maybe a pool inspector as well. So that's question number 4. Now, question number 5 is, sometimes I have clients asking me, my uncle is a contractor, my uncle flips properties, can I hire him as my home inspector? Yes, you can. However, it's something that I don't really recommend. Why? Because I always like working with, a professional home inspector that, number 1, is insured, and number 2, they're licensed. So, it's always better too when we're getting the report, and if we're going to be asking things to the seller, for example, it's always better to have a report from a professional and not say, oh, my uncle said, we need to fix this or not. So it's always better to hire a professional in case anything were to happen. It's nice that they are insured and all that. Now, question number 6 is, the property is fully remodeled. Shall I hire a home inspector? Yes, you can, and you cannot. Keep in mind, you can always waive the right to do your home inspection, but this is something that I don't recommend either. Why? Sometimes when we see a property that is fully remodeled, sometimes as agents we call it, a lipstick on a pig. So sometimes it's good to see what's behind the walls, right? Things that we cannot really see, like the pipes and the electrical behind the walls. So it's always better to play safe. Better safe than sorry, right? And now, question number 7 is, what are the 3 top items that I always find in the home inspections? The most common ones are going to be, of course, the GFCI outlets in the kitchen. That's like pretty much every inspection that I have. We always have that. Double tapping in the electrical panel, that is pretty common. And then I think the third one would be maybe the leaks here and there, minor leaks, and a lot of cosmetic items as well. But yeah, that's pretty good information about home inspection. So thank you so much for watching this video regarding home inspections. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave any comments. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me anytime as well.